Cleave, man, we did it. We started our podcast. Things are going to go like crazy now. I mean, just think about it. Whoa, yeah.
We're going to be rich. No, wait, does it work that way? Is that the way it works?
Yeah, I think all you have to do is start a podcast. You get like 1 million followers. I mean, think about it. Like, if 1% of 1 million people bought our books, that would be like 1 million books sold. Isn't it crazy?
Are you sure this works that way?
I think so. I mean, look at Brandon Sanderson. I think that's how he started. He started a podcast, didn't he? And then he got famous.
I sure could be rich. You know, I could live that way.
Well, we're going to have to think about like how to do this podcast so that we look cool. That's really the important thing. So I was thinking maybe like do you have any wizard outfits you could wear? Because I'm thinking like maybe the Gandalf thing could really work for us.
I might have a Santa Claus suit.
Santa Claus is like Gandalf. That could, I don't know though, man. That might only work during December. Well,
I'm sure I could cast some sort of spell.
All right, well, we'll have to go ahead and start this podcast and see how this goes. But I'm pretty sure this is how it works, man. You get famous on YouTube, and then you sell a lot of books, and pretty soon you're a celebrity, and pretty soon your Cleave Bourbon's on Netflix. I think that's how it works.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. Well, here's hoping.
I'm really excited, so it better work this way, Merick.
It will work. Trust me. I've crunched all the numbers, and I'm pretty sure that 90% of the time it works. I mean, 40% of the time it works every time. Yeah, I think that's how it works.
That sounds good.
Well, maybe we should start the podcast now.
Oh, you ready?
Let's start it. Welcome to Cleave and Merick Take Over the World. Today's episode, we interview Greg Harms. He's an illustrator and artist and the founder of the Boomtown Comic Con. Enjoy the talk. It's going to be a great show. All right, welcome to the podcast today, Cleave. It's so good to have you back on, and this is our first new podcast. Cleave and Merick Take Over the World. So this is podcast number 1.
And we will.
We had several other podcasts on my podcast, the Merick N podcast, but we are uniting our powers to take over the world. So with Cleave's wizardry powers and my use of time travel, we should be able to take over the world. Hopefully that's the plan. But today we have a wonderful guest. We have Greg Harms, and he is hosting Boomtown Comic Con. And we have so many good questions I want to ask about that. That's coming up March 22nd, so it's just coming right up. And you still have time to get there, so we're super excited about that. And that's going to be in Borger, Texas. So, hey, Greg, how are you doing today, man? How's it going?
Doing well. Well, thank you for having me on your inaugural podcast. Thank you.
It's our pleasure.
Something like our first podcast had to be epic. We had to talk about something so important, and we thought Boomtown Comic Con would be that.
Now you're putting pressure
important,
on me.
You know. No, but also, Cleve and I are going to be. We're going to be there, so we're kind of shamelessly plugging you to come out there because we're going to do our first public appearance, and I'm expecting like just droves of Cleave Bourbon fans and Merick N fans just to show up, and probably might be kind of crazy because they might try to rip our clothes off. I don't know. I've never done a live performance, so I don't know.
Please don't.
No, this is a family friendly.
Okay, sorry,
event.
just kidding.
So
No, that's not true. Actually, I have no proof of that. Actually, I just said that. I don't know why I said that.
And you're going to be in booth D3 when they come looking for you. And I need to get your information so that I can put it on the website as well.
Yes.
And promote you.
I will.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's just been crazy. I'm real behind on a lot of stuff. I'm sorry. We'll get for sure.
No, you're good. I want to make sure and promote everybody that I can that will give me the information, because we have 83 10x10 spots. Some people have 3 or 4 booths, but a lot of booths.
Cool.
A lot of things to come around to see. We have you guys with your novels. We have Blue Handle Publishing with their novels. We have children's books authors and writers. Cool. Authors and artists. I said artists and writers. It's the same thing. Artists and authors. And then we have all kinds of vendors and special guests. And we can delve into that a little bit more as we go on. But
yeah,
I would like for you guys to, since we're talking about it, maybe plug yourselves, plug your book, plug your stuff, so that when fans see it, they can check out your stuff.
Well, we shamelessly plug nonstop, pretty much. Pretty much shamelessly. Have you read Red Mage Ascending, the Mage of Blood Magic, in the Tournament of Mages Book 1 by Cleave Bourbon? The servant girl has a secret, and she's hiding it in plain sight. Hannah works for a well-to-do family who treats her well, but something is not quite right. The servant girl doesn't act like a servant. She speaks with multiple languages, including High Elvish. She is a skilled musician and a talented artist. There is also another talent, but its secret Hannah guards closely. She can use blood magic. She is hiding because she knows if she is found out, she will have to fight in the Tournament of Mages, a contest where she will be pitted against 5 other mages with different forms of magic. She has left everything behind, her family, her friends, and the one secret she dares not reveal. Now available on Kindle, audiobooks on Audible, in hardcover and paperback. Find it online on Amazon Kindle, Barnes & Nobles, iBooks, Kobo, and wherever you buy good books. This book is by Cleave Bourbon. Buy it now. Have you read Brothers of Chaos Part 1, an epic coming-of-age dark fantasy tale by Merick N. Ulrik? Vandrin of House Glenclair faces insurmountable odds fighting against the corrupt Melborians. He will rely on an unexpected friendship with an elf named Zankadin Umbadin and his alluring sister Zyla. Together they will face the will of the Blood Queen, Empress Ash Exana, and a treacherous plot of a beautiful young blood mage named Lilith. This series is epic fantasy, sword and sorcery, mild dark fantasy with some adult situations. You may find it on Amazon Kindle Unlimited, audiobooks with Audible, and you can buy the whole series in print, Brothers of Chaos by Merick N. Ulrik. Well, we shamelessly plug nonstop, pretty much shamelessly. Greg, tell us a little bit about like how the origins of the Boomtown Comic Con come about. Like, how long you have been doing this, or who was the? I know your wife was involved as well too. Or
my wife is a partner in crime.
Mm-hmm.
I guess to really get to how it started. I was president of the board of directors of YC3, Yellow City Comic Con in Amarillo, for 2 years. When we started it, it was in a comic shop, and then we went to the Sunset Center. So I wrote that business plan. Okay, fast forward to 5 months ago. We were talking, actually a little bit before that, because we were at a farmer's market, and we were talking to the city of Borger. And they had people say, we'd like to have a comic convention. And I go, we can help you with that. We can, give you advice and names. And so the next week we went into a meeting, and they go, tell us about it. And we started telling them, and they go, by the end of the meeting, they go, how about we help you, we support you, and you guys run it. And it's kind of been a dream of mine. And Christy looked at me, and we kind of see, okay, we'll do that. That day, which was about 5 months ago yesterday, I went home, designed the logo, pulled out the old business plan that I had from Yellow City Con, rewrote the parts that needed to be written to match up with both the venue, which is it's at the Dome in Borger, and then just a kind of a smaller scale, because we're not, not going to have 10 to 20,000 people coming in. It's going to be more like 1,700 to 2,500 through the day. Smaller venue, a few less guests, but still quality stuff.
Awesome.
So.
Have you been involved in comics before? Like, what was your interest that got you excited about this?
He's an incredible artist, by the way.
Well, Christy and I have been going around to comic conventions since 2010. She has her children's books. I have my comic books. I'm a comic book publisher as well. I have Third Empire, which is a comic book publisher. But we've been then even flash forward to when I was 16, or even before that, I was drawing comics.
Awesome.
One of my senior project in high school is I took Macbeth and turned it into a comic book, a graphic novel. So, yeah.
So I was writing in high school. I was writing stories that was being, moved around through all the students, and he was doing all the drawing. But in high school, we never quite found each other.
Yeah.
We knew about each other, but we didn't, for whatever reason.
Well,
you
graduated in 88, 87.
7.
So I was a freshman in 86. So I would have been a sophomore then. When you graduated,
I wouldn't have been associated with you.
But
senior, being like,
I did know, like you, and then like Larry Brain did comic book art as well, which he was a year behind you, graduating. No, 2 years behind you. So we all kind of knew about each other, and I think I've read some of your high school stuff because in literature class or some of the kids passing it around. It just, I was in art class, and then I was a football player, and so I was busy all the time with sports and art.
Nobody knows who this is except for you. But did you get in art class? Did you have Miss Judd?
No, it
no?
was.
Okay.
I can't remember her name. No, it wasn't Miss Judd.
Probably a good thing.
Uh-oh.
She did not like me at all. But anyway, that's a whole different story.
Another podcast.
Yeah.
Another podcast. Right.
Well, that's awesome. So, can you tell us some titles of your comics? So, you had Third Coast Comics. Are you what do you have some? Are you going to show some at the Comic Con, or is it just kind of something?
Yeah, I'll have some of the titles there. One of the more recent ones that I've helped publish and have some artwork in is Mojo Rising.
Cool.
And then we have Juju, which it won't be ready by then, but it'll be in 2026 when we have the 2-day event.
What is the style of like Mojo Rising? If you can give us an idea, like, because I know when I was younger, I really liked the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics, and I liked I liked Conan the Barbarian. I liked Spider-Man, of course. This is pretty basic,
right.
Yeah,
I like Conan, so
I love Conan.
Style, as far as the art style, or sometimes for my style, it's hyper realistic,
Cool.
Or less than that. I mean, it's a lot of action. Like you kind of take the '90s comics and throw them in with the new technology. And kind of what you get. Because when Roman and I started Third Empire, he's a Chaos Comics guy, and he worked for Marvel. He passed away in 2018. But he and I started in 2006 with the publishing company. But it was a kind of 90s in your face, just that whole 90s era of comics where you have the Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri and Eric Larson and just big panels, a lot of action. And
cool.
With the recent stuff, we wanted, what was missing in some of that was the writing. So we want to have better stories with that action in our current books. So
I had an idea for a graphic novel, and I haven't finished it. The writing process. I thought the writing process would be easy, but like, it's more. It's harder. I'm a writer. I still have problems writing sometimes. But so I had a story. I wanted to write around this character called the Ninja Girl. Anyways, but have you found that? Have you found that the technology makes the coloring easier now? That they have like a lot more. Like I remember like. In the 90s, it was all like line art completely. But now with the technology, have you merged that? You think it's merged more with technology, or?
Oh, I think so. I mean, because some guys will do the whole piece on their iPad.
Wow.
From sketch to ink to the coloring, and it's how you want to use that technology. It's so like for me, I like to sit down and actually physically ink. So I may pencil a page, I'll scan it in, blue line it, print it out, and I'll ink it, and then I'll scan it back in and do the color work.
Yeah.
And then I have a letterist that does the lettering, Keith Braun. So
that's cool. That's cool.
Now, do you still do the open Facebook thing where people can watch you draw? Because I watched you draw.
I hadn't done any of that in a while. When I got sick with COVID in 21, I didn't draw for 2 years. I couldn't. Man. I had long COVID, and it just kind of took me out. Mm-hmm. So I've been trying to catch up with everything because I had two Kickstarters that were very they made it. So I have to catch up and get all that taken care of. Mm-hmm. And then after that, this year I'm actually going to be catching up on that.
Cool.
I like 3 panels on getting the book done. So very close.
Well, I'd really like to talk to you off camera sometime about Kickstarter without getting too far off, because like how you do that and everything.
Yeah, because that could be a whole different podcast.
Yeah, I know exactly. But it's really cool if you do a successful Kickstarter. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've actually been part of 5 successful ones. Mm-hmm. 2 of them have been hidden under Third Empire, and one of them was under Creative Knots.
Neat.
I've done one, and it was successful. I'm still fulfilling it. They take forever to fulfill sometimes. Yeah. Especially when you're beholden to, in my case, there was some people who wanted some hardcovers, and they're hard to get. They're hard to get in, and when you do get them in, they're really not that high quality. You have to really work with. There's 4 places that you can get them from. And all of them have different prices and different qualities. Yeah. And I have some Kickstarter people that are kind of mad at me right now. But I'm like, I'm not going to send you something that's just junk. Yeah. It's going to be quality, and so it's working on that.
So at the Comic Con, talking about Boomtown Comic Con that's on March 22nd in Borger, Texas. Do y'all encourage people to dress up like in their favorite comic?
Oh, I was going to ask that question too,
because that would be awesome.
Cosplay.
Yeah, we're gonna have a children's cosplay contest and an adult. Cool. Christy and I are still talking about if there'll be a cash prize, but there probably will be. We've got to set the amount, and so we do encourage that. And we're also let me tell you this so that I can tell you the next thing. Our nonprofit that we're going to be donating 10% to is the Borger Area Learning Center. So the convention itself is donating. Well, the 501st, which is actually the West Texas Alliance, they're going to be coming in, and they're a nonprofit that helps fundraise for other nonprofits. They go around the hospitals and visit sick children, but they're all dressed up in their Star Wars gear. They're going to be there, and anything they raise is going to be going to our nonprofit that this year as well. So
awesome!
Wow! So you'll have those cosplayers in Star Wars, and of course we have some Star Wars guests that we'll get into when we talk about the guest.
Oh yeah!
But there's going to be 2 or 3 different Star Wars organizations that are nonprofit that raise money. So not only the fans coming in, but we actually have them there as well.
How much work is putting all this together? I mean, because you had, well, I guess you had a partnership with it. Did you say? I'm sorry if I'm misrepresenting what you said.
Borger Commerce.
So the Chamber of Commerce is kind of helping you guys put it together.
The Chamber of Commerce has helped. They've actually given us a grant that is helping to get some of these featured guests in. Mm-hmm. And then the city of Borger is working with us to make sure that our venue is going to be spectacular. So
that's great. That's great because I mean it's a lot of work, and obviously you're gonna. I mean you're talking about so many vendors and guests, people. It's a lot to put together.
Well, it's kind of crazy to try to do it in 6 months. It's usually a year and a half planning out. Mm-hmm. And just the time frame that we were hit with, from the date, the 22nd, when we hold it, you go back, and we started just 6 months before, and it's been nonstop for Christy and I. She's been really keeping track of the guests, following up with them, getting all the blurbs that you see on the website that we send out, getting the artwork from them so that I can do the graphics that I do. And then working on getting sponsors, and so it's just you have to do something every day or you're gonna fall behind. Right now, before I came on, I was actually designing a poster. So,
wow.
So Borger, if you haven't familiar, it's kind of close to Amarillo. So if you're in that area, or if you're thinking about traveling that way, how would you say it's kind of closer to Amarillo, or?
It's about 45 minutes from Amarillo, north of Amarillo.
So it's would you say? I mean, if people might be coming from Dallas or from whoever, they might come around. I'm actually traveling probably pretty far to come here, so I'm pretty excited because I've been to Amarillo before, but I've never been to Borger, and I'm just excited to be at the Comic Con because this will be my first Comic Con to actually come as an author. So we're pretty excited. But I have honestly, I will say it has a lot to do with Cleave because doing this podcast, we've developed a friendship, because we have common interests of writing and self-publishing. So I have to hand it to Cleave because he's the one who made me want to come there and hang out with him and to be at the thing. So we're
how far are you coming from?
I'm probably coming about 10 hours away because I am south of Houston, maybe 12. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I have one coming in from California. Well, one of the special guests is, and then another artist is coming in from California, and then I have a few coming in from Oklahoma, Colorado, New Mexico.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well.
No, they've recently remodeled the dome, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. You're not going to eat, those old fish fries that we'd go to in there and how dark it was? Mm-hmm. It's not anything like that. It's beautiful. And then they added on to the dome, they actually added on this whole section right here.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
This is the dome.
It's been years since I've been there.
Yeah, see, they remodeled the whole dome. And then they added in the bathrooms here. And of course, there's bathrooms over here. And then there's a kitchen, which we're going to have a chef preparing our concessions. And these
nice.
Cupcakes.
Oh, that's awesome. I was going to ask if there was going to be food.
And then there's gaming panels. But yeah, they added this whole section on right here. And when we started this, we just rented the dome part. And we got so much feedback, good feedback online, that we went ahead and rented the whole area. So we filled it up. We have one spot left that somebody had backed out of because they had another thing that they were going to have to do, a family. So we have one spot left. Otherwise, we're sold out.
Wow, that's cool.
So it's
Sounds
pretty
exciting.
That's awesome.
And
I told everybody I knew about it.
I heard that area has a really good Comic-Con following. I mean, somebody told me. I met a guy who did a traveling comic book store just a couple of weeks ago, and he told me that the Amarillo area and the greater area has a lot of Comic-Con fans.
Well, Amarillo has 4 different conventions that set up in there. Mm-hmm. Lubbock has 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you can go to Oklahoma City, Albuquerque. Those are probably the 2 closest, other than Lubbock and Amarillo. So there is a pretty good community growing. And then we have a comic shop that went in a year and a half or 2 years ago. So building up that community as well, and it does take time on some of that. Just local.
So you said there's going to be some gaming tables. Is that for like different like Warhammer or anything like that, or is it going to be like a
the Magic and Warhammer are going to be learn to play setups. So they're not going to be the full-blown go in, win money type stuff, but they're going to be a learn to play. So there'll be those set up. The Pokemon is going to be a cup challenge. It's actually kind of a national. It can, it's a big deal. I don't know a whole lot about some of the gaming, so I'm learning as I go. But they got it set up to where it's kind of a big deal for the cup challenge. Yu-Gi-Oh is going to be set up. D&D, we're doing the short one-shots. He's going to be running those all day, and I have different comic shops running each of these. So you have Game Quest running the Yu-Gi-Oh, and he's also bringing the tabletop games. So we're going to have 6 round tables to where you can have all the different games.
I bet you Cleave knows what I'm about to ask him.
Yep. He's going to ask about BattleTech.
Do you have any BattleTech tables? I love BattleTech. It may not. It's not as popular as some of the other games.
Okay. Unless Game Quest, we don't have anything set up. No.
You don't have any set up for? Okay. Yeah, that's okay. I'm not upset about that. It's not a deal breaker.
The ones I have, I did because of some of the comic shops said these are some of the better ones to have. And they run them in other comic conventions.
Warhammer's very popular. I think it's one of the popular ones. I know Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! And those kind of things are popular.
And if you like those type of things, we're going to have vendors there that are selling the cards, all the paints, all that type of stuff, all the accessories that you could get your deck set up the way you want it, and the miniatures. And there's we have a 3D printer that prints those figures.
Yeah, actually, that's a very popular thing now. Sometimes people, and they're so creative with the 3D print stuff too. Like, there's a lot of people come up with the coolest 3D print stuff nowadays for models and stuff like that. It's amazing. It's really cool.
I'm kind of excited to see what he has.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. That's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. And it's getting really close. I'm a little bit nervous because I'm still ordering stuff in for my table. But I was going to ask you, speaking of the vendors, who are you most excited about? Who are some of the vendors and some of the featured guests?
Okay, well, you kind of asked 2 different questions there.
It was. I'm sorry.
I guess.
Tell us all.
I'll wait to talk about the featured guest at the end here, or at the end.
Okay. Sure.
I guess some of the ones I'm excited about are probably some of the guys that I've already been to conventions with. Some of the artists and writers, and then there's publishers, a couple of self-publishers and coming in, just because the camaraderie that we've already kind of shared. And there's one of my friends that Matt Mosman, he's coming from California. We actually have worked together before, and when I did the Seattle Comic Cons, he would come see me at the publisher's booth there. So it's kind of cool to have him come in and support the event. So it's going to be nice to be able to see some of those guys. So I am excited about that, and just getting some of the guys, and then just meeting some of the new ones that signed up for it. So, and asking me which is my favorite, it's kind of like asking my favorite kid. I love them all. I love them all. Now jump over to the guest. And some of these I've actually met at other conventions. So the Star Wars guests are going to be David Ankrum, who is Wedge Antilles off the original Star Wars, and then he's done some voice in there, and he's done a bunch of other stuff.
Oh, wow.
C. Andrew Nelson, who has played Darth Vader 70 times over the last 12 years, and he has his own animation and voice acting studio. And then I try not to butcher her name, Leilani Shu, who is the first named Jawa on screen, and she was in Book of Boba Fett. in The Mandalorian, in those newer shows. She's been in those, and then her daughter's also been in those. But
wow, because they actually used real. I have to say that. How do you say? What's the right nomenclature? Little people, but
short person.
Yeah,
Short
that's
person.
pretty awesome. Yeah, short person.
Yeah, she's awesome. I think anybody that meets her is probably gonna like her a lot. And then we have Mark Kidwalk Britton. He is the voice actor for Dragon Ball Z, and he's voiced 7 different voices on that.
That's cool.
I think he's going to be kind of a spicy guest. He's fun. He's a comedian, so he'll be fun. And then we have the 1983 version child actor who's now adult, Pippi Longstockings.
Oh wow!
So she'll be there. And let's see, Sean Hernandez, who is sponsored by one of our local tattoo shops. He's gonna be in there. He's a wrestler.
All right.
And then we have Britt Peoples, who is a Marvel and DC artist, and he's worked for Zenoscope and a bunch of other stuff. We've actually gone to several conventions with him and gotten commissions from him and got him to sign books. And over the years, the last 20 or 15 years. So it's kind of neat to be able to bring him in as well. So
exciting. That's going to be cool. It got a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be a spectacle. I know, like, people are going to want to go there and hang out, join the costume contest, and just seeing all the different booths and the vendors and stuff. And I'm like a kid in a candy store when it comes around to these kind of things because, you get just see all the cool stuff out there. You know what I mean?
Well, I almost feel bad. We're going to be stuck in a vendor booth.
Yeah.
It seems like I want to mingle around.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and I'd say I hope you get to walk around, but I hope you don't. I hope it's so busy that you don't get to walk around.
Yeah.
Because anybody that's done this for any amount of time, the ones where the vendors are spending more money with each other than the other one is not a very good show financially. It's good networking, but a horrible show. When you're stuck at your booth and you don't get to go talk to those other vendors, that's when you go home and go,
good.
Oh, that was a good show. I think I'll do it again. So I hope that happens.
Yeah.
And I'm planning on that happening. So
yeah, I've got my.
There you go.
Already set, so I can set it up there.
Cool.
And I can take cards.
I gotta pick Cleave's brain when we get off the podcast. There's so many ideas we have to get it set up right. I mean, his brain has been picked a lot, so I might not be a lot left because he does pick it often because he has all those books he's writing. So it's like this guy Cleave is like always working on 3 or 4 books, and I'm like, and he's a fast writer too. So, but it's great because in this.
I was doing it just before we started the podcast. I mean, I literally came in. I literally finished 30 minutes ago before we started the podcast, working on one of my books.
Yeah, and it's good because if you're an indie author, you gotta keep putting something new out, or people forget about you. So yeah,
you're the only thing you've done is the last thing you did. Instances,
right?
Yeah, but Cleave has a big back catalog too, though. Don't let him fool you. He's got a huge back catalog, so it's good stuff. Yeah. So we're really excited. Only thing I'm not excited about is the drive, but I'm sure it'll be scenic, so it'll be kind of exciting.
Yeah, those drives like that are not any fun.
It should be fun, though. I'll make it fun. It'll be a road trip. It'll be good.
You just have to watch yourself between Dallas and here, especially when you get to Esteline.
Okay, so I got to go through Dallas to get there. I don't even know. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just like, I know.
Well,
I'm gonna go in that direction. I'm like, I think I'm going this way. I'm not sure.
Well, regardless if you go through Dallas or not, you're still going to have to go through Esteline, and there's a speed trap there.
Okay,
we all know about it. You go to
Memphis and Esteline.
Yeah.
Slow down.
When you go to like.
Yeah,
when you go
I've
to
been
one of those
driving like an old man. That's pretty true.
But there's one time I got a ticket somewhere, and you're doing one of those courses where you get out of the ticket, you take the course, the defensive driving course. That's what it is. And the first thing that the person asked is like, "How many of you are here because of Esteline?" And like 30 like 90% of the class raised their hand. So you gotta be careful.
So on the Comic-Con, do people need to like buy tickets in advance, or they just get at the door, or
they
what do you recommend?
They can either way. We do have a Boomtown Comic Con .square.site that they can go pre-order tickets, or they can just get them at the door. If they pre-order, they may get in a little bit quicker. But other than that, we'll just have a couple people or 3 people at the door trying to get everybody in as quickly as we can.
I'm gonna have to probably look up some Airbnbs by there or something, or else sleep on Cleve's couch or something. And be like, hey,
I've got an extra room.
That might save me some money right there.
Right. Well, we do have a sponsor hotel. If you want to check into that, it's on the website. But it's
awesome.
Check that out. Yeah.
What hotel is that?
It's Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Borger.
Awesome. Well, it's going to be super. I'm super excited. What else do you recommend for people who are coming out like to the Comic-Con? What they need to bring with them, or what should they expect? Any kind of tips for people coming to Comic-Con? Or
well, if you're not in cosplay, just wear something comfortable, some nice shoes that you can walk in. If you like collecting autographs, if you like collecting commissions or artwork. Bring appropriate things to keep up with those. Like if you're just getting if you're getting commissions from artists, you may want to bring a binder to put them in so they don't get destroyed or dropped.
Makes a lot of sense.
If you one thing that I've enjoyed over the years is getting one of those art books. You can buy them at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, whatever. Just one of those blank art books. And have artists start filling it up. You can even get signatures in there. One of the things I wanted to do this year, but I didn't get to, is have the program to where it had a blank cover, to where you could get people's signatures on it, as well as artwork.
Oh, yeah.
So it would be a collectible, one-of-a-kind collectible. But you could get around that this year by just bringing your own little sketchbook and having people draw in it, write in it, and then start your collection.
That's a great idea.
Bring cash, because the nearest ATMs are going to be about a block and a half east and west.
Yeah,
there's a Wells Fargo and there's a Pantex.
Yeah, not all booths probably have stripes or whatever. Some do credit, some probably do cash only.
So, and we do have internet. Hopefully, it'll hold up to where the vendors can use that. But have a little bit of cash anyway. It'll help.
Yeah. Note to self: get some cash.
Right. Rob the bank. Grab the cash.
Yeah, so that's awesome. We're super excited, and this is coming up soon. This is like just less than a month away, because it's the 23rd today. And so, but you still have time.
Very
quick.
We're
gonna put this podcast out real quick. So, if you're anywhere in the Amarillo area or the Borger area, you want to come out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know it's just going to be tons of fun. And it's a good family activity, too. It's good for the whole family. You can bring kids, and adults can have fun, too. The big kids can enjoy it. So it's really great. I'm glad the city has gotten behind it. It's a really good thing when your city supports it.
The good thing about Borger and Amarillo, too, is we're right in the middle of the Panhandle. So you've got Oklahoma, you've got New Mexico, you've got all the whole Texas Panhandle area. You got the bottom part of Texas, which is like another state.
Yeah.
Compared to us. But, you come from a lot of different places, and it's pretty much in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, Amarillo's kind of in the middle, and Borger's a little up.
Yeah. Is this Oklahoma, New Mexico,
well.
Colorado? We have a couple of vendors coming from Colorado.
I kind of feel like sometimes, like the people who like comics and like science fiction and like fantasy, and are fans of all these things. A lot of times we're kind of like loners. We're at home watching our favorite shows, reading our favorite comic books. Maybe even drawing a little bit, doing different things. But then when you get to Comic-Con, you have all these people with the same interests. You kind of feel like, for once, the world has aligned to what I like, and it's not just because the comic book fans, we are a little on the nerdy spectrum of maybe not Cleave, but me, of course. But Yes,
Speak for
much like
yourself.
him. But I mean, it's great to come together these kind of gatherings. It just makes it's really fun. It kind of just makes you more nostalgic about some of the great comics and stuff. And even like the voice actor for Dragon Ball Z, that's pretty awesome. I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball Z. It's gonna be great to hear his voice and compare it to what I've already heard on all the episodes and everything. So that's gonna be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that, and meeting like actors who played in films like Star Wars. It's just so cool, and you're great. This is a great opportunity to do some maybe a little autograph collecting and just checking out. Nowadays I think it's the selfie. Getting those selfies. People love getting the selfies with the celebs.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so now you mentioned Darth Vader actor. Was that the one? Which Darth Vader actor is that's going to be?
C. Andrew Nelson.
Sandra Nelson.
Andrew Nelson.
Andrew Nelson.
Yeah.
C.
Andrew. Yeah.
C. Andrew. Yeah. So that's the original, or that he's the one that's on the last couple ones, or
he's done some fill-in stuff, and then he's worked in some of the video games. Let me just pull up.
Is he going to be in costume or no? Or is he gonna...
Probably not.
Are you hoping?
I don't know. What am I thinking?
I don't know that he ever does appear in costume.
Yeah, probably not.
We may have one of the 501st, the group that's going to be there. That is. I know there's. There's going to be an Obi-Wan, a Sand Person. Yeah. A Hoth, Snow Trooper.
Yeah.
And then the various,
Oh yeah, well that's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Just that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Are you going to be bringing your lightsaber there, Merick, so that you can attack Darth Vader?
Have it signed.
Yeah, probably not. I'll be stuck at the booth, so But maybe I'd like to try to sneak over there and take a selfie with some of these costumed. Star Wars characters.
Well, you're only like 2 booths away from the Star Wars group. So.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, you could.
Cool.
Nice.
You could get them to hold your book up and promote.
Yeah.
This is the book you're looking for.
That'd be great. A lot of opportunities there. Pretty cool. Super cool.
Which one am I in again?
D3.
Did you say at the beginning? E3? Oh,
yeah.
D3. Okay, cool. So what's one thing that you want, if you only pick one thing, what's one thing that you would want everyone to know about Boomtown Comic Con? And while you're thinking about that, is there going to be food and drink?
Entertainment. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, you already mentioned a little bit of it, but I was kind of putting another question on that, sorry. But I was asking about the food and drink, that kind of stuff. But that's another question, so we'll throw that in a minute. So you're saying it's family. Your one thing is okay, well,
and it is good to get out of the house. You know what I'm saying? Get out of the house. It's COVID's over. Get out of the house. Go.
You can find your
interact
you can
with
find
people.
your wolf club there.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Hang out with your tribe.
Your tribe. Yes.
Meet some people. It's great. It's great. Oh, we're super excited about it. I'm jazzed.
Going to have both of my daughters there. My other daughter found out about it. She's like, "I'm going too." I was like, "Okay."
I think I'll probably bringing some of my daughter and probably my girlfriend's daughter. The youngest will probably want to come because she's into like anime. She's big into anime. So
we do have some anime
vendors.
Artists.
Yeah, that'll be great. She loves that stuff. She likes the One Hat and a bunch of different other anime stuff. She loves that stuff. So.
Okay, cool.
And my other daughter, of course,
Nice.
is into. My youngest daughter is into she's into Pokemon, but she's into a lot of the. I don't know, some of the stuff I don't even know. It's like.
She may want to get into the game then.
She may, but she's only 9. I don't know.
Okay.
She might. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Well, there's going to be a couple of booths there that she's going to want to check out to see if she wants to add to her deck.
Oh, there's a kids contest too for the costume contest. What's the ages on the children's contest?
You know what? My wife was handling that, and I don't know. Let me see.
Well, I imagine there's going to be like under 12 or something like that, or you think it's a 13 or something, 15?
It is going to be.
Maybe we can get a costume for Riley, and she can dress up as something. I'll be thinking about this now. Make it more fun for the kids,
Right.
You don't have to, but I think kids like dressing up, so it might be fun.
Yeah, my daughters are 29 and 32.
Yeah,
so
yeah. They don't qualify for the kids contest, Cleave. Sorry.
Yeah, even though I talk about them like they're still 4.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
So I think there's still time to develop a costume for Riley, and maybe Chloe will want to dress up.
A Jawa.
Yeah.
Then you could get a picture with
Chloe's 17, so I don't know if she'll want to go or she might. It depends on if she's busy. I have to talk.
You
to
can
my
get a picture with the first Jawa there.
Yeah, because I think it'll probably for sure. My girlfriend and I are going to go, but they're doing a costume contest for the Comic Con. So I don't know if we'll have to talk about that. See if Riley and Chloe want to go or something. I don't know. Well, it's going to be awesome.
I'm not sure on the ages.
It'll be fun, but
yes,
I mean, we'll figure it out. It's going to be great.
Well, Christy's handling that part of it, and so
okay.
I'm not 100% familiar with the ages. I should be, but
so it's going to be at the Dome Civic Center and Convention Center.
Yes.
So the Dome Civic Center. Convention Center should be easy to find. You can probably Google it, but it's going to be it's on 1108 Madison Street in Borger, Texas.
No, that's actually my home. Go to the
sorry.
other. Yeah, go to the other side.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one.
Yeah.
1113 Bulldog Boulevard. Don't go to Greg's house. Okay,
we can edit that out.
I'll sell all the art on my walls.
Yeah. Okay. That's crazy. Sorry about that, Greg. No, but
everybody in this area knows where the Dome is. They have fish fries there. We grew up with that. So I mean, if you're from the area, but if you're coming from out of the area, it's pretty easy to find. You just come right into town. It's just right
it's
there.
Behind
it's
the Kentucky Fried
dome.
Chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's behind the Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's a huge dome.
Yeah.
It's an aluminum dome.
What is the admission fee for that, or is there a admission fee?
Yes, adults are $10. Kids 7 to 12 are $5, and then kids under 6 and under are free.
Awesome. Yeah. So it's a great family activity. Not a lot of money to get there. Just come out, and you're probably gonna find lots of stuff that you're interested in if you're in it's a spectrum of things. Comic books, gaming, movies,
books,
and
novels.
seeing your actors from your favorite movies and stuff. So that's just pretty cool. It's gonna be a lot to do.
Now, Greg, you being an artist, are you just going to be like a host, or are you actually going to be vending?
I'm going to try to do both. I'm actually probably going to get somebody to help me with my booth to where I can bounce, because I'll need to probably introduce some of the panels that are going on, make sure the celebrities get to the panels that they need to be doing, or any of the other panelists that are presenting get to where they need to be. Luckily, it's not a huge space that I have to go to, but there's going to be probably a lot of steps in there. So
okay.
Well, where can they find samples of your work? If they want to look and see what you do, like online, before they come to the Comic-Con, is there a place they can go and see?
On my
your
Facebook
work?
page. I think it's G Harms Facebook or whatever, or Greg Harms, and then look through the old folders, and there's thousands of pictures, and then I think there's over 3,000 videos that they could watch of me producing the artwork. So
that's cool.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm so excited. I thank you for having us. I know there's a lot. We're just one of the few. We're one of many vendors, so we're not like the. I know people probably thinking we're the stars, but we're really not. We're just the small.
Sure, you are.
Yeah, but we're gonna have a great time.
No, I'm kidding.
It's gonna be great. But we're super excited to be there. I mean, I speak for myself, but I know Cleave is too. Very excited.
Very excited. Very nervous.
I love it.
We're going to do a podcast. We'll probably do some podcasting there, and we'll be talking to people probably. I want to do some of that stuff. So
I love it.
We're going to have some – and, hopefully this is going to be something we'll do every year. Hopefully. I'd like to continue this. So, yeah.
We plan on 2026 going to a 2-day convention. We're already planning that.
That's awesome.
So we'll know more after this convention if there's enough, there's some criteria we'll have to meet, but that's what we're planning on.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent, man. Well, we're going to have a blast. Everybody's going to want to come out to Boomtown Comic Con. It's going to be great. I'm just excited.
Me too.
What else you got?
So I wanted to follow up on, 'cause you mentioned the chef and the food. I'm
Yes.
all about food, as you can probably tell. So how's are you going to have food and drinks, or how's that going to work? Is there going to be like several booths that have
So
food?
there'll
or
be the
how's that?
concession, and they'll be providing all
Concession.
the food, drinks. We're talking to a local tea place. They hadn't said for sure, but they may be a sponsor. And when they are, we'll have their product in there as well at the concession.
Nice.
But the chef's going to be making your normal concession style stuff. When we go to the 2-day, we just couldn't plan. We couldn't pull this off this year, but we're planning on a VIP dinner where he actually provides the fancy meals for the VIP dinners. We just couldn't pull it off for this year, but the same chef, if he comes back next year, and it's with his family, and they also have a bakery. They do cupcakes, they do cookies, they do all
In
this
Borger?
stuff. They're actually out of Amarillo, and we're friends with them. So when it came up, we decided, yeah, we need to have them because the stuff they produce is so good.
Awesome.
So excited.
Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of hungry people there.
Yeah.
Looking forward to
And
it.
we do have a popcorn vendor that's going to be set up, a food truck.
Cool.
So
That's
we'll have
cool.
the popcorn.
All right. Well, it's March 22nd.
Nice.
It's coming up really fast. I'm gonna have to get this podcast right out to people because I want people to have a chance to check it out.
You want to talk about the time? Like it was at 10
10
a.m.
to 6.
10 a.m. to 6
Yeah.
p.m. on Saturday, the
Yes.
22nd
Yes.
of
March
March.
22nd.
So I was wondering about that. There's not a Sunday yet. So next year you're thinking that possibly if you meet that criteria you were talking about, that you'll have
21st.
we'll have a 2-day
21st
event.
and 22nd.
That would be awesome. 21st and 22nd
2026.
of
Yeah.
March.
Same weekend a year if we meet the criteria.
Well,
so.
What I'm hoping to do is gauge how it's going to work this year, and hopefully, I mean, usually what happens when you have the first year you have a big turnout, but usually the second year is even bigger. So I'm thinking I'm going to kind of gauge it because I want to come back obviously and see what I need to get because this is my first Comic-Con too, my first as a vendor, as an author, and so I'm kind of ordering like book ones and stuff and doing some QR codes because I'm not really sure what all to bring. So what would you say to any, well, I guess the vendors probably aren't going to watch this, but
Well,
for people who come to the
might.
Comic-Con,
Yeah.
but so what should they bring?
Well, I have
What should they
several
bring to-
first-time vendors. And I'm thinking back to when Christy and I started. We kind of developed our product mix because sometimes you'll try some things and they don't work, and then you'll think, oh, I should do this, or you may even just put it out as an afterthought, and then it works, and you're like, oh, that worked. But I think having number ones and even maybe a few other in the series, because I when I worked with Seventh Wave Comics, when we had our first book out, sales were like 200. When we had our first and second out, they went up to between the two, 300 or 400. But then as we went from 1 to 7, it was exponential. You could. So the more you have on the table in series, you seem to sell. You sell more.
Yeah.
It may just be you sell more number ones, but they see that they can get the other ones at any time, so they don't have to wait on those. So it's kind of a psychology of sales type thing, I guess. Have good presentation. Have your stuff on the flat, have your stuff standing up, and maybe have your banner behind, because you want people to be able to go from across the convention center, go, oh crap, what's that? I got to go check it out.
Yeah.
That's the oh crap banner to where I got to check that out. It's got the boom or whatever, or the product on your table just screams, "Come buy me," and then the covers on your books kind of do that. So if you had some stands for some of your books, and then you had some of them on the table, so bring the books that you're going to sell, have them displayed nicely, bring a way that you can sell, whether it's cash, change, square, that reader, have that where it's, and then bags. If you might think about that,
bags.
where
you
buy several products, you put them together. Throw a business card in there. Make sure you have your business cards or your free bookmark that you give away, where they can find you again.
Bookmarks.
Yeah,
because you want those repeat customers when you're not at the convention as well.
Yeah.
Evil cat.
Doesn't.
Well, I got so much stuff to prepare for this thing. I'm getting kind of nervous, like Cleve.
That's what I'm nervous.
I got a lot more product that's coming in and stuff. I got to get that going right now. Well, it's going to be a blast. I didn't mean to cut you off on that, but those are some really good things. But now I'm getting nervous like Cleve. I'm like, I got to get this stuff in quick.
It hits you pretty fast because you're like, oh my gosh, it's coming like super fast.
Super fast. So, yeah.
And I'm like, I've got my table runner. Do you have your table runner?
No, I need to get that. Yep.
You probably need to order it this week.
Get on it.
I need to order it tonight.
It takes a while. Mine came from China, but it looks awesome.
I'll get it tonight or tomorrow for sure. Cool. Okay.
Get a banner too. But anyway, it's going to be great. I'm super, super excited for it. And the closer it gets, the more I'm like,
yeah.
Excited.
A little bit of fear, a little bit of excitement mixed.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand.
And see, I grew up in this area, so it's going to be really weird for people to. I'll probably see a lot of people I know.
Yeah.
I hope so.
You'll be like, oh.
I hope we do.
I hope so too.
That's the goal. Get those people in there and you reconnect with old high school friends and other people. So.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people from, and I'll put this podcast, or a link to this podcast on my Facebook that's in this area. And so a lot of people that I know will see it. And I know a lot of people I've already talked to about it. Some of my best friends from high school. One of my best friends from high school. I was best friends with a girl in high school. So Leanne Moore, who's now Leanne Elliott. So I talked to Leanne. I'm like, she's super excited. She's been trying to get me to do Comic Cons for I don't know how many years. And I've been like, oh, well, maybe someday. And so when I showed up on Boomtown, when you sent out my vendor card, she was like, oh, you're going to be there. I'm so excited. Like,
cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited. We had talked a while back, I guess when I was streaming, we were messaging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that you had never done one. So it was kind of, and I thought about that conversation whenever this came about. And I was going, I hope that you do. Because I have another friend that this will be his second one. But his first one, he actually set up at my booth. I had a little spot for him so that he could sell his hammers and stuff. So
nice.
And then I know there's a few others that this is their first convention. So they're going through all the nervous and, I should have ordered that already. And
yeah. Well, I'm hoping that we'll keep doing some of these, Cleve. Maybe we'll do them together. It's kind of like what do you call it? I'm using Cleve like a crutch. Like, hey, let's do this together, man. It's like it doesn't seem as scary.
It's always nice to have, not necessarily a companion, but a somebody you can lean on. Because help set up and navigate to get there and just conversation, watch the booth so that you can go to the bathroom. I mean, there's some, real positive.
Yeah, we found doing the podcast together is like a lot more fun than doing it by ourselves. That's my personal opinion. It's harder sometimes to keep going.
Even though I kind of sit here being quiet sometimes because Merick does like to talk, which I let him go sometimes. I'm just like, you have the floor, sir.
Wind it up.
But we're authors, so that's one thing we do. We have a lot of words. There's a lot of words in here.
Yep.
Well, I have less words in here since COVID, so I don't.
Oh, that's so sad. I mean, people who have had the long COVID, I don't think some people understand exactly how devastating it really is. a lot of us had, the short COVID where we were just out for a week or two, and
No, it's 2 years.
that's not what you had. You had months.
I was just
right?
hanging out with my cousin Chris, and he was saying that my cousin, and he was saying that he just hasn't got a sense of smell back since COVID, so he has no sense of smell.
See, that came back, the taste, but I had COVID ear, I had the fog, I had the memory loss,
nice.
Depression, suicidal thoughts. I had the night terrors.
Oh my god!
I mean, it was, yeah. Anyway, I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
No, my god.
At all.
Well, you're doing better now.
Yes.
Or?
Oh yeah, 100% better.
That's
well,
great.
and I've changed my diet. I'm now on the carnivore diet. I've lost 40 pounds. There's some clarity. Some of the words are starting to come back. There's the connections are starting to make the connection again. So doing good. I'm finishing up the Kickstarters that had worked on that are so far behind. Getting this new project going with Boomtown. So things are good.
It's very exciting. Good.
Yeah, when we talked a while back, Greg and I was kind of worried about him because I didn't realize how bad it was. He got really bad there for a while.
Yeah.
Well, it's the closest to death I've ever been. So it gives you a new perspective on things.
Yeah, if you don't have your health, you really don't have anything. You
No.
complain about money and things sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's we've lost too many good friends. I've lost too many good friends just over the years. It's surprisingly, and health is one of those big issues. So we're glad that you're doing well.
Thank you.
I'm glad. Yeah.
Where this cough is coming from? Sorry. There was another. I had another
Sorry.
question. Let me look here.
My dog's my dog's having a dream.
Oh, my crazy cat is in here, and she's scratching. Excuse me, stuff she shouldn't be scratching right now. I don't know why. I need to drink some water, I guess. I think we covered most of it. Excuse me, I don't know what. I'm on a diet too, and I'm taking new medication, so that's what's doing this. I decided when I come to the Comic Con here in a month, I didn't want to look like Jabba the author. Merick.
I had to move you over closer to the Star Wars group.
Yeah, close to the Star Wars group, and I can sit there as and have Merick go.
Oh, yeah, it's Salacious Crumb.
Salacious Crumb beside me. That'd be kind of funny, actually. We should do that.
Yeah. I'm glad you didn't say dress me up as the Princess Leia slave girl out.
Right.
That's cool. Well,
I didn't want to scare small children away.
It's a family-friendly event.
Family friendly, Merick. Come on, stop it. All right.
So where did you come up with the name Boomtown? That's what I was going to ask. Well, I know the lore of Boomtown, but I think I don't know a lot of people know.
Well, I had a whole list of different names. I don't have it handy, but Black Gold, because we're kind of we're near the largest inland gas processing plant in the U.S. So a lot of this area is oil and gas in nature, and then the whole Boomtown was actually when that sprang up, the oil and gas. It was a boom town, so. That was on the running of all the different things, it's Black Gold and I think that's Sunset something. I had a whole list of about 12.
Boomtown sounds great. I think you picked the right one.
Boomtown. It just kind of
rings.
It does. It goes with the history of Borger as well, because Borger was founded, I think, in the 20s, and Borger's namesake was a guy named Asa Borger. And he was actually murdered at the post office.
What?
And the town was a boom town. The town was actually a boom town. And it got so bad they had to call the Texas Rangers to come out and clear some stuff out. There was a place north of Borger called Signal Hill. And Signal Hill was just basically a town of hoodlums. It's not there anymore. It's defunct now. But it was basically a town of...
Which Borger wasn't much better. About being the hoodlums. I mean, there was prostitution and gambling. And
it was horrible.
And a boom town, and they threw up.
It was a
they
boom
threw
town.
Up tents, and you had thousands of workers just in these little tents, and I know when I worked for Foxworth Galbraith, they told stories about the manager back then. Whenever Foxworth actually was there, he had to go out with a baseball bat and a gun to do collections for the lumber that they would get from them. Yeah,
wow,
it was wild.
Yeah, the Borger's history. I mean, it was a boomtown, so it's very appropriate that the Comic Con is called Boomtown. But I kind of want to give a little bit of the lore in case someone's wondering why it's called Boomtown Comic Con, because just like in Amarillo, you have Yellow City. Yellow City is because Amarillo is Spanish for yellow, basically. But Boomtown, it's very appropriate. When I saw that, I was like, oh, perfect name.
Yeah, I felt that was probably the best out of all the ones I had on the list. It caught the both the history of it and where we hope to go. I mean,
it sounds exciting.
That it booms. Yeah, it's the convention boom.
Yeah,
super exciting. Well, what are you going to bring, Merick?
Books.
And where can they find
codes,
where can they find your work online?
MerickNHUlrik.com or Amazon. Merick N. Ulrik. Most of my books are on Amazon. Some of them are on other venues, but primarily Amazon. So, but yeah, we'll talk more about that. But super excited about the Boomtown Comic Con, Cleave. Thanks for letting me know about it, so I could be a part of it too. So. But it's gonna be great.
I love it.
So we're over an hour right now. We just talked about Boomtown Comic Con. Boomicon. That's another name. I just threw it out there.
So,
Boomicon.
Okay, so before we wrap it up, is there anything else that you just want people to know about the Comic Con, Greg, that we haven't talked about or that we missed? Is there anything else?
I mean, I could go into the vendors, and I mean, we could make this a 3 hours.
Well,
the other day I was on the podcast, and it was almost 3 hours.
Wow.
Well, we only go around an hour, but you can go ahead and go into the vendors. Yeah, tell us about that.
We have comic book vendors. We have collectibles and nostalgia type stuff. We have stickers, 3D printing stuff. We have trading cards. We have one vendor that has done jewelry for movies that the stars wore. So that's kind of a neat one that I hadn't seen at another convention. That bringing in some of that work, the jewelry work. There are
that's cool.
Like video game vendors.
It's gonna be so cool.
It's just fun nerd geek culture stuff, pop culture.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of fun, a lot of different.
It's a little bit of everything, I guess.
Artists of every caliber, from the beginning artists just starting their first convention to seasoned pros, like one of the guests that we're bringing in, and there's several others that are the same caliber. So
awesome,
exciting.
All right. So you want to give the venue one more time, Merick, and then we can wrap it up, I guess.
Boomtown Comic Con, March 22nd at the Dome Civic Center and Convention Center in Borger, Texas. And that's at it's going to be at 1113 Bulldog Boulevard in Borger, Texas. And it's from 10 to 6. It's going to be freaking awesome.
We will be there.
I love it. I'm glad.
I mean, if nothing else, Merick, Ulrik, and Cleave Bourbon are going to be there. I mean, you can meet them in person. I mean, people around town have been saying they're kind of a big deal. Yeah. I don't know. Let's talk around town.
The scuttlebutt is.
It's going to be good.
I love it.
All right. All right. Well, thank you very much, Greg, for being on the podcast and telling us about this. I think it's going to be super great. I can't wait. Although I can wait in some ways because I'm scared. I got to get stuff ordered in.
Hurry.
I mean, I have some stuff, but I need more.
But I'm thinking about this too, Cleve. Hopefully, if we do this, I kind of like doing these with you, but if we do, hopefully we can do more of these, and we'll see how it is. Because it's also a financial investment to go and to do and see how it.
These Comic-Cons,
it might just be an investment. It takes a while for us to get meeting people and getting out there and stuff. It's always good though. It's going to be great.
There's going to be one of the other vendors that's going to be there. He has collectible stuff, but he's also another showrunner, and I'll introduce you to him because he has about 5 or 6 different shows.
Cool.
From
awesome.
Beaumont to Enid, to Lake Tahoe, to Colorado Springs. So I'll introduce you to him.
Sweet.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be good.
Well, see, Merick, you need to find a Comic-Con near you so that next time I can come to you.
Yes, something closer to Houston.
But yeah. Anybody you can introduce us to, that'd be great. I mean, I'm just anxious to see everybody and anxious to see all the vendors. But I'm gonna be vending, so like you said, I hope to be able to meet the other people, but then I kind of hope not.
Yeah. I hope it's before hours and after hours. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
So busy at your booth you can't step away.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Well, Greg, thank you so much. We're so super excited about Boomtown Comic Con, March 22nd. It's going to be great. Borger, Texas. Awesome. Thanks for being on the podcast, and hopefully we'll make this an annual deal. We'll have to talk about the 26th one, maybe a little bit earlier than right before the big Comic Con. So,
anybody is going to be at Boomtown Comic Con on March 22nd.
Yeah. If you're not there, you're
something's wrong with you.
Okay.
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you because you're going to miss out if you're not there.
It's going to be awesome. All right. Well, thank you, and we'll see you next time, and we'll see you at the Comic-Con. We'll see you there.
See ya.
All right. Take care.